It's the world famous. Yeah, I said it in my Mr. Magic's voice. It's the world famous Swag in the Morning. I'm your brother Prince Creed.
And I'm your girl, Lady D.
Lady D, before we talk about Miss Sweet Blackberry and all of that good stuff, she got so many accolades, man. Goodness, they should name, when you look up accolades and accomplishments, Karyn Parsons would be like that.
Oh, okay.
Tell everybody what swag means.
Swag means saved with amazing grace.
And morning don't mean daytime. It means new hope, new beginning, freedom for being in the darkness. And right now, we're going to bring somebody into the light. Come on. How we do it? Move on into the light.
Okay.
Move on into the light. It's light time.
It's light time.
It's light time.
Yes.
What's going on, Lady D? I see you're black. I mean, you're back.
I'm back and black. Yes. I'm both.
Okay. That's good. Listen, it's been a long time. Let me just stop the music. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to. Thinking how many weeks shows you slept to. Time's up. I'm sorry I kept you thinking of this. Shout out to Rakim, one of the legends in hip hop. We're still celebrating 50 years of hip hop.
Yeah, we are.
Salute to hip hop. Happy birthday. Still celebrating birthday. And by the way, it passed not too long ago, just Monday, was You and I's. That's how you say you and I's?
I don't know what
You and I's anniversary.
It was our anniversary. Yes.
It's our anniversary.
Yes.
All right. Do you know what's today? What Monday was? It was our. I'm still celebrating, Lady D. I'm still on celebrating mode.
Okay.
I'm still gun ho about you. I'm still blown away. First of all, that you you put up with me, like you would say, I do. When I got on my knees was like the arthritis knees, and I was kind of hurting. I'm like, will you? And Tony Terry, look, what Tony Terry did was one of our first guests on the swag. Tony Terry said, "Know what? Let me do this way." And so he sung. For me. Yeah. You're still glowing. You're still glowing. You're still glowing.
That was okay. Surprise, though. I love that.
It was a surprise.
It was a surprise. Yeah.
Well, hey, I'm glad it was a surprise. I planned all of that for Tony. I was texting him like, "Yo, Tony, sing, some songs to her, make her think that she's special, because she is special. But I don't want to blow Lady D's head up here, and everything. But
I'll go for it.
What?
I'm just gonna roll with it.
He sung the song to you.
He did.
And so I was like, okay, all right, he's singing to you, and you was blushing.
A little bit.
You was blushing. I brought you Evander Holyfield.
You did.
You was blushing.
I was blushing.
You was blushing, right?
You brought me Roy Jones.
Brought you Roy Jones. You was blushing.
I sure
right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so I brought you my sitcom crush.
Oh, that's what you did.
So since I brought you Tony Terry, I brought you Roy Jones.
Okay.
I brought you, who else did I bring you? One of the guys up here. And those was the main guys I really brought Holyfield, Roy Jones, and Tony Terry. And all I do is just want to keep bringing Karyn Parsons back. I know her book is in the mail here. It hasn't come yet. I'm so mad. I ordered the book and it didn't come. And so that right there, I can't even show off and tell her I have the book. But it's in the mail. Amazon is moving. Or no, where did I buy it? I got to realize, I think I went to the website and got the book. Oh my goodness. I don't really be knowing. I'll be moving all over the place. Goodness grief. Who did I send my money to?
Oh my gosh. You got to be a little bit more careful.
Got to be more careful.
Yeah,
As we wait for our amazing guests to get in, let's talk about what's going on in the news. What's going on in the news?
You want to talk about Trump on his way to jail?
Let's talk about Trump, because they're saying at any moment Trump lands in Georgia for his historic fourth arrest. Fourth arrest.
It blows my mind. It's just blowing my mind. It's blowing my mind. His fourth arrest, okay?
Fourth arrest. Now, I'm trying to figure out Did they have to say fourth arrest?
They
Like,
really didn't.
do they really is for another arrest? They making it known like for his historic fourth
Right.
arrest.
It's the word historic for me though. Like, why is this so historic? Why? Why? I mean, just how do I have a problem with the fact that we have a president that is that they're saying he's able to run again to be president, and he's in all of this trouble all the time. So why is it okay for us to put him up to be nominated again? But it's
I don't know.
it's disturbing to me, and it is what it is. But I'm hoping and praying that something is going to happen where it's just go ahead and do what you need to do. Put him in jail where he should be.
You know,
But
I don't
that's
think.
my opinion.
I don't know. I don't think that. I don't think that he'll go in jail. I mean, I think that.
I don't think so either.
I think. I really don't think that he will go into jail.
Well,
I really don't.
We will see now, won't we?
Yeah, we're gonna see. I mean, in a few.
Ah.
Um.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, you can?
We can.
I've been talking for a long time.
Well, y'all can't see my wonderful. Oh, don't elbow me, Lady D, because I told you, and Miss Parson knows that I had a crush on her since Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She knows that. Mr. Parson may not know, but look, it's okay. Like, I can really tell you that I'm so happy to have her. Folks might not be able to see her beautiful face, but you probably can hear her in a few. We're trying to get everything together here. So give me a second here. But again, back to Trump. Now, okay, Trump took a mugshot, and that's fine. Now, the person I think that deserves the mugshot taken is former Mayor Giuliani. I think he deserved to have his mugshot taken.
I think they all should have mugshot taken. I'm just saying they all did stuff that wasn't right. So yes, treat them just like you treat us. Now if you would have done something wrong, they would have been quick to put you under the jail and all of that. They take those mugshots and let them feel what everybody else have to feel when they do something that they're not supposed to do. But
Well, that's the Trump news and things like that. And I feel that the presidential debate last night, I think that it was the the Republican debate. I'm politics. Me and your dad.
I'm not so much.
So that went sour.
Oh, did it?
Because Trump, he was just going. He did an interview that they played the interview, the Trump going in on Christie. Chris Christie, former mayor of New Jersey. And so it's kind of sad, right? Politicians, they go back and forth with each other. And to me, it's real sad that I thought they were from the same team. And so when Trump makes it, because he's leading, no matter what, he can push somebody in front of a train and then say, look, the wind blew. And he could still get nominated for the presidency seat to represent the Republicans. And then he can say to Republicans, you guys are idiots. You're stupid. You're nothing without me. And they'll still nominate him and they'll still vote for him.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out, is it all about money? I don't know. It's
a sad situation all the way around. It's just.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. Here's something else in the news, right? Now, I've listened to my counterparts. Well, let me say this, Breakfast Club and thing. I love listening to podcasts, radio, and different things, and talk radio. And so I heard, what's the girl, the Little Mermaid girl?
I can't think of her name.
Chloe, or one of those girls, right? It's Chloe. Yeah. Now, rumor has it that she's pregnant. Oh. And then her sister stepped in to her defense and was going in on this podcast guy. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not blowing people up that way. But it was saying that the sister was trying to jump bad and be gangster because she stepped to one person that was saying, making this rumor about her sisters having a baby. And she said, please keep my sister's name out of your mouth, because she was like really tired of that. She was tired of the fact that, people kept spreading the rumors about her sister having a baby. Right. So that was one thing. Another thing in the news. See, I'm newsed out, right? Because that's all I'm trying to do to make this, some good juicy stuff, right? Keke Palmer, right? I heard Keke Palmer and Usher did a song.
Oh, did they?
Oh, you thought they was dating, Lady D. Lady D, you braced yourself like, what?
I didn't think they were dating. I just knew that there was some issue around it. I mean, I see it. I don't pay too much attention to it. So, but I just saw there was a little bit of issue, and so I didn't know what was going on.
Oh well, that's what I heard. I heard they're doing this song together.
Okay.
And the boyfriend, the baby daddy's kind of mad and all of that stuff. And so I'm really like, enough is enough, But I'm gonna tell you one thing now, and this is no lie. I love me some Usher. Usher is my man.
Some Usher.
Yeah, Usher is my man, yo. Look. Usher is good, man. He's a great singer, great performer. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: if he ever come up on you, I'm sorry. Bodyguards from the back, the front, the side, they're coming to grab me. And Usher. I would feel sorry for Usher. Because that's how they call him, man. I think Ludacris said Usher. So I'm calling him Usher. But I think Miss Parsons is in. I think hopefully I can hear her. Karyn, is you there?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I'm just going. I'm trying to figure out why you can't see me. I'm like, what's going on? I'm just all through my thing. Like, I don't know why. I do stuff, but this is maybe this system.
I'm not for sure. I'm totally mad that Lady D. See, she can't see Lady D rolling her eyes. See, Karyn, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you how she's rolling.
I can see.
Oh, you can see us.
See.
Oh, we can't see you. That's a shame.
I know. I can see both. I can see you. For a while, I was over here just talking away to you guys, commenting on things you were saying, and then I finally was writing in the chat like, "Is it okay that I'm talking?"
Ladies and gentlemen,
we didn't hear you, but it's okay.
I just thought you were being rude.
Oh my God,
no!
no!
I'm kidding.
He can't be like that, so it's okay. But we weren't doing that today.
I mean, I'm rude to Roy. I was rude to Roy Jones. I was rude to Holyfield. Kind of got rude a little bit to Tony Terry, the guest that you wanted me to have. But I'm not rude to Big Les. I would never be rude to Karyn Parson. No, because they're special guests of mine.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous. I'm stuttering now. I'm starting to get nervous because I wanted to really introduce her with a boom, bop, bang. Put your hands together. Put your doggone hands together.
That's what
for Karyn Parson.
Oh, that's nice.
She's amazing. She's the founder of this amazing nonprofit organization called Sweet Black, like I am, Berry.
Yeah.
And she's back. And first of all, let me get the story straight. Let me just get this straight right now. Because my daughter, my baby girl, she's 12. I don't know her. Hilary Banks is Coco Jones. Stop. She is in the new stuff.
That's the new.
Yeah. No, I had to put my 12-year-old in her place. I yanked up. Like, look, say that again. I'm telling you, we are interviewing the original cousin Hilary. Dad, no, sir, you don't know Coco Jones. I'm saying Coco who? Coco what? Coco what? Coco who? Now, respect to her. She's an incredible actress and singer, giving her some flowers over verbally, but I'm still amazed by the amazing Karyn Parson, the original cousin Hilary. Give us some hand claps, audience. Listen, our audience has grown since, and I thank you, Karyn, for being a part of the family of us when we first started, when we really thought we were just going to come up here and do ministry and do all of those things through the pandemic, and you showed us some love, and you're back to show us more love. So we salute you. And again, we give you the stage once again. It's going to always be yours here at the Swag. You're saved with amazing grace, and you're destined to go further and further as far as God would allow you. So thank you for showing us love and growing our base. We just went up like 1,000.
No, thank you. I'm so sorry I can't get this camera to work, but it's good to be here.
Me too.
It's good to be with you guys.
It's okay. Thank you so much for taking time out your schedule again to show us love. So we do appreciate you.
Absolutely.
We're going to jump right into this because I'm excited. First of all, I don't know if I've ordered your book from your webpage or Amazon. Now I'm tripping because I know I paid for it. And I needed that book with me because this Saturday I'm going to this storytelling function in Portsmouth, Virginia. There's a bookstore called the Printed Word Bookstore. They invited my character Super P to come out to speak to the kids about bullying, and I wanted to have your book. And I don't have your book because I wanted him to read that book because he does like 30 minutes to an hour of reading, and he'd select different books. And I wanted to have your book. And what I might do is go get the ebook. Karyn, do you have an ebook?
I do. The Clouds Over California. I don't know if you're talking about my new book, Clouds Over California. Yeah, but Clouds Over California there's an audio book. I don't know about the ebook part or not.
Audio. That's an audio book.
But there's an audio, and it definitely has some bullying in the book as well, so it kind of works.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Because now I need to keep that book on me. I am Prince Cree on the Swag, but I'm super P when it comes to the bully stoppers, and I need to get that book. And I speak about you all the time. In reference to the nonprofit, I always plug in and pushing it. So for my listeners, tell everybody what is Sweet Blackberry. Can you talk to people about that?
Sure. Sweet Blackberry, it's a nonprofit organization, and our mission at Sweet Blackberry is to bring little known stories of Black achievement to kids and their families. And we do it in the form of short animated films and books primarily. I've done 4 films, been very fortunate to have the beautiful illustrations of R. Gregory Christie in both the books and the films. And we've done stories of Henry Box Brown, the enslaved man who literally mailed himself to his freedom in a box. And that was narrated by Alfred Woodard. We did the film Garrett's Gift about the inventor Garrett Morgan, and that was narrated by Queen Latifah. We did Dancing in the Light, the story of Janet Collins, the first prima ballerina, Black prima ballerina, who was actually asked by the Ballet Russe, the Russian Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo. They asked her to dance with them, which was unprecedented at the time, but they said, but you have to do it in whiteface. And she turned it down. She was heartbroken because she wanted to dance so badly, but she turned it down. But she went on to work so hard that she won the Donaldson Award, signifying Best Dancer on Broadway. She became the first Black prima ballerina, first regular performer before Marian Anderson at the Met. Just an accomplished, amazing woman, Janet Collins. So Chris Rock actually narrated Dancing in the Light. And then we did the Bessie Coleman story called Flying Free, about Bessie Coleman, the first Black female pilot, who actually got her pilot's license before Amelia Earhart, but people don't know about her. She was an incredible, groundbreaking Cherokee and Black woman. And nobody in America would teach her how to fly because she was a woman and she was of color. And so she ended up getting sponsorship, so enough money so she could go overseas by boat to France, where they taught her how to fly an airplane. And she came back this, incredible hero and inspired many, many people. And Lawrence Fishburne narrated that film. So I've done the films, and I also have 2 books that Little Brown has published of these stories of these great people. And I have a lot more I want to do.
Wow.
Awesome. That's awesome. I love the fact that it is it's for kids to teach them, the things that we sometimes we overlook, things that we we don't know or fail to portray to them or to let them know. How did Sweet Blackberry come about? How did you come about?
I I grew up spending a lot of time in the library because my mother was a librarian,
Okay.
and so as an adult, when I wasn't living at home anymore, my mom would still call me from time to time and share stories with me that she came across in the Black Resource Center where she worked in Inglewood, and she told me the story. The first story was a story of Henry Box Brown. This and I had never heard the story of a man who literally mailed himself in a box, had a box built, had it
Wow.
nailed shut, postage applied, and sent from Virginia
Wow.
to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He went by wagon, boat, train. I
Wow.
think I'm missing one other mode of transportation. He went all these ways, and he wasn't discovered, and he lived 27-hour journey. And
Wow.
that was the impetus for Sweet Blackberry, because when I was so amazed by the story, and then I would tell my friends, and none of my friends had heard it either. And I thought, this is insane. How do we not know this is a real story? This person's he spent the rest of his life traveling the world telling that story, yet
Mhm.
now we don't know it. And
Wow.
I was really naive in the beginning of Sweet Blackberry. I was always saying, there's just so many stories out there that are being lost,
Mhm.
and it took me a
Mhm.
while to catch on that, like, oh, they're not just being lost, they're being shoved in the corner and painted over, like nobody,
Right.
they're trying to get rid of a lot of stories, push them aside, don't think they're important, or don't want people to remember that, and are embarrassed by as we know now with what's going on, the people are, it's hard to hear bad stuff that your country was a part of, and so people don't
Right.
want to look at it. And I can't get over how ridiculous that is. It's because it's all of our history, and it's important
Right.
to all. It's
Right.
not just Black people's history. And people are like, oh, we don't want to hear this in the schools with the white kids. It's like, no, it's your history too.
Right. Right.
It's the
Right.
history of this country, and it's important for all of us to know it. And as we all know, if we don't know our history, we're destined to repeat it, right? So
Right.
we have to, it's really important we know these things, we understand the context of where we are now and things that
Mhm.
happen, and where we understand what came before that put us in the situations that we're in now, and why there's this divisiveness. And it's really, I think it's unbelievably important on so many levels for kids to
Right.
know these stories. They're empowering, you know
Yeah.
they show us what we're capable of. They show children what they are capable of, when people are telling you no, and you can't, and you're different, and you're bad, and all of these
Yeah.
things. It shows you that no, you're not, and yes, you can. And I
Mhm.
think these people and their lives and the sacrifices they made and the incredible triumphs they had are for all of us to learn from and grow from, the
Right.
children and their families, all of us.
Yeah, it's one thing you said that stood out to me. We always talk about, the history of, whatever it is. And then we talk about Black history, and you
Hmm.
said that, what, it's not just Black history. It
Right.
is
Mm.
it's America's history. It's
Yes.
our history. And so that goes for every nationality. Every
Yeah.
nationality has some kind of history. But if you look
Yes.
at it, we're all in this place together. So it's
Right.
our history, and we need to know that. So that is very important to
Yeah.
let them know that, to our listeners, that, Sweet Blackberry is not just for Black people. It's
Hmm.
just not, it's history
It's
that
history.
everybody needs to know. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. I'm really glad you said that. And it's true. And it's good for all of us to recognize, like you said, there are people from all different nations that have come here. This is the melting pot.
Yeah.
And they have created history in this country as well.
Hmm.
And so if we can all understand a lot of that as well, we can understand more about the place where we live and why things are the way
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah, and another thing too is that when we understand the history of others, then
Hmm.
it gives you, it shows so much. You can have so much more respect for other people. And I think that
Absolutely.
that's what's missing, is that we, a lot of times, we don't understand the history. We don't understand where, this particular nation came from, or
Hmm.
how their people came through some rough time, because it's not just the Black people that
No.
went through some tough times, right? So
Yeah.
if we understand that, you know what, we're not, not exempt from going through hard times.
Right.
Our forefathers and our foremothers did it, and if we can understand that, we can have so much more respect, and I think that's what's missing.
I think you're
I
completely
agree.
right. That's really important.
Yeah.
You said that.
I agree. And so let's jump into this new book.
Okay, but before
Okay,
we
I
jump
say,
into this
okay,
book,
all right.
before we want
Taking
to,
over my guest. Go ahead.
no,
I mean,
I'm
you are.
not. I'm
Yeah, go ahead,
really
sure.
not. But this is something that I saw. Now we all know that names are very, very important. And tell us how the name Sweet Blackberry became your name. How did you choose that name?
I always laugh at this because I wish I had some great story, but this is how it came about. Is at the time my daughter was a baby, and I called her Lana Berry. We called her Lana Berry, Lana Berry. Berry. So this kind of affectionate berry thing came about, and this gives you an idea how long ago the organization started. I was like, how about like Blackberry? Blackberry. And one of the people that the animator Gina Kaminsky, who was actually she helped found the organization with me, she said, well, you can't do Blackberry because that's a device.
Uh-huh.
And
uh-huh.
I said, what?
I was
What
about
do you?
to say that.
I was like, what kind of device? Because how long ago it was. I was like, what kind of device? She's like, it's like and she couldn't describe it. So she was like, it's a device. And I kept saying, but I don't understand what you mean. Like, what is it though? And she's like, it's a device. I don't know. And I just left it alone. Cause after a while I started to think, oh, this must be sexual or something. And she doesn't want to get into it. But really, I mean, honestly, I was like, I'm not going to push this because she's not making any sense. I just take her word for it. The Blackberry's taken, and then of course later I saw that it was taken. But so but we like the sound of it. I still like the sound of it, and so we put "sweet" at the front of it, and then threw a bunch of other names in the pot. And everybody across the board that we asked, which name do you like the best? 100% of the people said Sweet Blackberry, Sweet Blackberry. I think it conjures up blacker the berry, sweeter the juice.
Hey, there we go.
So we all we all lean into that. So yeah.
Okay. I can go with it. I mean, I love the name. It was just interesting to me. And I was like, let me just see, because I know me, if I'm doing something, I'm throwing out names and I'm putting things together and I'm pulling it apart. And I'm like, okay, what this is. And I'm like, you know what? The name speaks volumes. The names, it grabs you. But I love Sweet Blackberry. I love it.
I do too. I know you love it. I know you love Sweet Blackberry. I know that.
Okay, you could go on now. I'm done.
No. I know that you love Sweet Black Prince Creeberry.
Okay, whatever.
Okay.
Let's just go on.
I'm still on anniversary mode, Ms. Parson, so forgive me.
It's all right.
I'm just still on anniversary. I'm still blown away that she stuck around with me for 13 years. And I'm just blown away. Still blown away. Now, Tony Terry, always say I call him Tony. No, Tony have a song called "It Never Rains in Southern California," right?
Yeah.
So when I saw the book, right, and I follow you so much, and when I saw something new, I said, all right, I need to get her on. We need to talk about this book. We need to go ahead and get people to support. And right. And so I said to myself, let me find out, what is this title all about? Because it never rains in Southern California. So how in the world is it clouds over California? So explain first to our audience, what is that?
Well, that's kind of what it is, right? If it's always sunny, if everybody thinks it's so sunny in California and there are some clouds, looks like something's going on, something wrong and not so perfect going on over California and over the world of this little Stevie, our protagonist in the story.
Okay.
Well, I know the book looks very interesting. I am telling you, I can't wait for my copy to come.
Great.
And I'm going to read it to some folks. I'm going to bring it with me on my Bully Stoppers tour, where I'm hitting different schools. I'm going to promote and push this book as much as I can in the Hampton Roads, Virginia, up in all the way up to New Jersey, even to New York.
Thank you.
So I'm definitely excited about this book. Now,
Well, I haven't seen the book yet.
I can
Okay.
I
show you.
can't wait until it comes in. No, no, no. I don't want you to
I can
show
show
me.
you.
I'm gonna wait till it comes in because I'm gonna be the first one to snatch it when it comes in. But can you just give me a little bit about the book?
About what it's about a little bit.
Uh-huh. Just a little bit.
It takes place in the 1970s, and it's semi, it's a little semi autobiographical. It pulls on some semi autographical pieces. I agree,
Okay.
timeline's a little askew, to serve
Okay.
story and everything, but it follows a little girl, an 11-year-old girl named Stevie, who um, has recently moved, and so she's at a new school. Her best friend is kind of dumped her, but she's not really catching it. and
Mm.
she's having a hard time adjusting to the changes going on, and her parents are fighting like crazy, and her cousin, her 15-year-old cousin, comes to live with them from Boston, and she's mixed. Her father's white, Stevie's father's white, and her mom's black, and her cousin, Naomi, is who comes to visit them, is black, and Naomi is all modern 1970s young woman. It's the middle of the women's liberation movement
Mm-hmm.
and the Black Panthers, and it's she's actually very what she's feisty. I say. I mean, she comes in 15-year-old full of all of her energy and attitude into this family, where the mother, Kitty, Stevie's mom, has been very much kind of like the good wife. She dresses nicely for her husband, the things her husband wants her to wear, and she's been this very kind of 1950s, 60s type of woman that she's been told she's supposed to be. They love old movies, and the mother kind of, there's a standard of beauty that even Stevie thinks that she's supposed to emulate, which is this 1940s black and white movie glamour of, Ava Gardner and women like this. And Naomi shows up, and she's like, "Oh no, we're gonna go see Cleopatra Jones."
Oh.
But she kind of shakes things up in the household.
Okay.
And she challenges the father about his chauvinistic views, which the mother likes to call old fashioned. But she's like, "No, I think he's a chauvinist." And
Oh, wow.
and so Stevie's seeing all of this going on and seeing the world change around them, but so is her mother, who
Okay.
is also starting to, kind of stretch and reach out and come out a little bit into herself, and wants to try out her natural hair. Stevie's at her new school. She's going through it with having this big afro and trying to tame it into braids every day so she doesn't get teased, because one day she made that mistake. And so it's this whole thing of the kind of the ground shifting under her and all this change happening, and her trying to fight it, and then having to kind of go with it and see how, for herself, for her mother, for her father, this tremendous change affects their world.
Okay. Wow.
All of the changes going on. Yeah.
I can't wait to read it now.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much. I'm sorry that I'm saying too much of it, so I will stop.
Now I'm sitting here like, okay, well, when is this book coming? We're gonna have to hunt this book down or something, or reorder something.
I'm checking it now. Trust me, I'm sitting there checking. I hate when now I went to the site. I went to, excuse me from my viewers, the audio, because this is going to be launched on, on our audio podcast base as well on the Swag Media Network. However, I had to find out what happened to my book. My order book.
Oh.
My order book. Because I wanted to take this book with me on Saturday. Again, my audience, I'll be at the Printed Word Bookstore there in Portsmouth, Virginia. One of the owners invited me to come out, bring my character Super P out. And so I'm excited, and I wanted to have the book. Now, Karyn, you know what? I had the nerve. Got the guts to write me a book. Now, I'm not going to lie. Lady D is the author in the house, right? I wrote this book a couple of years ago, but I don't push it so much because I think the fonts was wrong, and I think it had some misspelled stuff. So I just wanted to make this book, right? It's called Hands for Hugs, No Bully Zone. And again, as you see, that's my area where I love to talk to kids in reference to bully awareness so that they don't become depressed or to want to take their lives. So I wrote this book and it's out there. And I don't know, like, I don't know if I let you, Lady D, did I let you proofread it or something? No,
I didn't have anything to do with the book. I think you did somebody else. I don't know.
no. I didn't let no one else read the book. I
Oh,
think I
okay. Well,
just
then
put
you
it
put
out
it
there.
out. Okay.
Like I'm known for just putting things out there, and which is a good and a bad thing. I jump and then worry about, oh snap, I forgot my parachute, and I figure out how to way to get to the ground without getting injured. So I would do that from time to time. But let me talk to you about no, we talked to you about the book. So let me talk to you about acting in this strike that the writers and everybody is on. Were you impacted by that at all, or can we talk about what's going on with that? Any how can you say this is there anything that's coming to some resolution with this strike with the writers and actors?
Well, I mean, I'm not directly impacted so much right now because I'm just not in I'm not in the I'm not acting. I'm not acting. So I'm not being so directly affected by it. Um but and I hope I mean, I am affected by what's going on and what they're fighting for, but I'm not being not in terms of the stopped work. But there's so much to be concerned about with AI. It's hard to even go into it here because it's so much.
Right.
That I mean, regardless, it's gonna change our lives incredibly, period, regardless. But I think that for writers, I can't even begin. People are already using Chat GPT to do all sorts of stuff. So for writers, it's a really scary time. And then for actors, because let's face it, if they start saying, well, we want to use your image, and like for instance on Fresh Prince, like, well, Warner Brothers owns Karyn Parsons' image as Hilary, and we want to have more shows. We want to do we want to do more Fresh Prince shows. And if they get permission to get to use the images, I'm not sure, but from my understanding, there's a good chance that, I mean, I'm sure there are ways that people will find to try to avoid it happening. But the fear is that they'll be able to just replicate you and make more shows without maybe trying to get people to sign off on using their image.
Really?
And and if and it becomes a thing, I think also it's a slippery slope. If you give a little bit, or if some people say yes, that's where it starts to become difficult. It's one of those things where I think everybody has to say no. They have to regulate it. And same with the writing. And the other thing is streaming. The streaming stuff is a mess.
Yeah.
Nobody they can't keep track of how often things are streamed. The companies are making tons of money and they're doing so well, but actors, writers, everybody who participated in creating this thing that you're watching, they're not getting paid when someone streams something over and over and people binge watch like crazy. All that before, it used to be a thing where every time it showed, it was very kind of easy and it seems really fair. It doesn't work that way anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. And it gets
that's pretty bad.
It works really well for the studios, but
I was watching
hard for the rest of us.
I was watching Major Payne on Tubi. Now Tubi is what's going on now. Tubi is the new Tubi is killing it. You can watch all types of movies on Tubi. So I'm thinking when you watching that, and I watch Major Payne just so that I can, get to watch. Don't look at me like that, Lady D. She was just had a little small part in Major Payne. She wasn't in there.
Whatever.
Anyway, so is that an example of if I'm watching it over and over again, there's no residual royalty that the actors or actresses will get from me watching it on a streaming platform like Tubi?
Right.
Wow.
Yep. I mean, I think it's hard to pinpoint. I've tried to ask them this with Netflix before, and I think my understanding was that if it sells to a market like that, there's some kind of check for that, but there isn't for all of those for the streaming for watching it repeatedly.
Wow.
Wow.
When you think of it like that, and when you understand it that way, then you can really understand how big of an impact it is. It's because it's just like music. Every time
Yes.
somebody's song is played, they're getting paid for it. So just if I have a song that I really really love and I'm watching it, somebody's making money off of that. So they're getting
Yes.
paid over and over. But when you talk about sitting down, I mean, and we can all binge watch, our favorite movie, and on a Saturday, it's easy to sit back and just say, I'm gonna watch all of these movies. But then you look at it a little bit different when you know that these people that work so hard to put this out, for
Yeah.
our entertainment is just not getting paid for it.
Right.
So
No, it's and what they're starting to do now, which is interesting, when if you have like Hulu and some of these and everyone's starting to do it, they have ads, right? They have commercials. You have to pay for a higher level of whatever Hulu or whatever streamer to not have ads. But the whole idea, so those advertisers are paying to be there, so they're also paying them as well. There's subscribers that are, for instance, for Hulu, you have to subscribe, so the subscriber pays them, and then the advertisers are also paying, so they're getting all this money. Yeah, the whole idea before was, well, hey, if it's on Netflix, there are no commercials, there's no interruptions, there's no advertisers, so the subscribers is where the money's coming from.
Right.
And that's just the money we're dealing with. But now these guys are doing commercials everywhere, so they're dealing with advertisers and subscribers, and still nobody's getting the money.
Wow.
None of the actors, writers, other players.
Yeah. So now it makes you look at it and say, hey. Now I understand. And, not that I mean, I didn't fully understand what was going on, but now I really, I have a better understanding of why they're fighting so hard, because they should. They should.
Yeah.
This is we're talking about somebody else's livelihood. This is what they do to entertain us,
Right.
And I wouldn't want somebody to stand in my way of making my money and making my ends meet. So
yeah, I think what's hard too what's hard with the strike is that for people to understand, they look at it and they think that everyone's Matt Damon, and everyone's like these big actors and actresses out there. No, most actors are not these huge movie stars that are making all that kind of money. Most are living, job to job type of thing. And it's and so when things are on, you look for residuals. You need residuals to live and to survive.
Right.
And when they're dwindling, when they're leaving the cable area and they're going just towards streaming networks, all of a sudden the money's drying up and people aren't, their stuff is still playing, but they're not getting paid, and they need that money. Everyone needs that money just to keep your medical, you have to make a certain amount.
Absolutely. So you did say you mentioned while we were talking that you were you're not acting right now.
No.
So what are you doing?
I'm writing. I'm really I mean I have not.
She's enjoyed writing.
I do. No, I have Sweet Blackberry, and I'm writing. I mean, I just I have 2 novels out now. All the Sweet Blackberry books I wrote, and I'm working on more, and I'm working on a new novel right now as well. So I'm just that's where the Sweet Blackberry and my family, I got my hands full.
Hey, Karyn, we never approach you like this, cousin, sister, because you're a family member. And, when you get family members that are famous like you, me and Lady D, we don't be bragging on you. We don't be like, yo, we know her. And you know what I'm saying? That's my cousin, my sister. You know what I'm saying? But if you ever had an opening for getting stories, will you be willing to take a story, look at it, see if it's worth even critiquing or maybe even writing on it? And are you open for other folks to just present ideas to you that you can put with Sweet Blackberry in your book collection? Are you ghostwriting?
I'm not ghostwriting, no, but people have have written and have had ideas that they've talked about wanting to share. The only problem is we have a lot on our plate already, stuff that we're trying to do. I hope in the future soon that we'll be able to have enough arms working on this to get this so we can do all of that, and we can go, because right now we're focusing on, like I said, little known stories, from Black History, Little Known Stories of Black Achievement.
I love it.
And so that's really, but I'd love to broaden it a little bit more with more stories of people that we haven't heard from a lot of different walks of life and different, and stories, not necessarily, I think stories of even people like, I don't know, like your aunt or uncle or your great aunt or uncle who has a great story. You know what I mean? I think there are people who we all can learn so much from. And we also, it helps us recognize that right here, we're making history ourselves. Our family and their stories are important. I would love to get to the point where we're able to share even more stories like that. But right now, we have a lot on our plate we're trying to get out. So it's hard to do.
I understand.
More so.
Okay.
Well, we got a question from Portsmouth, Virginia, from the Printed Word Bookstore, which again, I will be there this Saturday. And I wanted to, the book can come tomorrow, but I don't have tracking information, but I wanted to bring your book, Clouds Over California, to the owners. But they're asking a question. Do you work with, I don't have my glasses on, Lady D.
Other new writers by offering workshops? Do you work with other new writers by offering workshops?
Oh no, do I work with other new writers by offering workshops? I wish I did. It's so funny to hear something like that because I think of myself as so much of a student that the thought of me holding a workshop, it seems like craziness. But maybe one day, just in terms of sharing what information I know, or
a master class in writing and
no.
See, Karyn, you when Lady D asked you, was you acting? You were like, like acting. that is nothing. Like you smiled when you were saying, but I'm writing books and I'm doing this, and I felt that. I felt your mother, your librarian. I felt that energy from you. That brings you a lot joy, less headaches, a lot of freedom. You know what I'm saying? I felt that.
Oh, I definitely. It's so funny because I grew up ever since I was like 6 years old talking about I'm going to be an actress. I'm going to be an actress. That's all I wanted to do. And my mom kept thinking I was going to change, she's going to grow out of it. And I didn't, she did. She said, I just knew you were going to grow out of it. And I didn't, I loved it. And I'm finally at the place where I realize, I love this. I loved acting. I did. but
I'm mad. I'm sorry, Karyn. I'm mad your camera's not working because I'm pretty sure you over there like.
For this one.
I know she over there like about acting. You see, you're lucky for that camera. Sad for me because I wanted to see how your hair is because you the original of that hairstyle.
I got my hair working tonight too. This morning. It's all like
Lady D, your fault. I think Lady D rigged the camera. Yeah, you think you're gonna be looking at Miss Karyn? You a hater, Lady D. You a hater.
Oh,
Why everybody defend you? You know what? Let me stop. Let me be a gentleman. So, Karyn, we're gonna close out because I know your time is very valuable, right? But before we close out, right? Lady,
I'm waiting for you. I'm listening to you.
Do you have some more questions? I was waiting for folks to ask some a lot of questions to Ms. Parson because they said all week, I can't wait. And I guess they glanced and said, they ain't talking to no one.
Nobody there.
Ain't nobody there.
Okay, you know how people are, right? People like, yeah, right. That's not, yeah, right. That's her. Let me ask her some Fresh Prince of Bel-Air questions. Let me ask that questions and all of that. But yeah, I'm going to go to that question because this is a question that someone inboxed me. They overseas, right? But they can't get the broadcast. I don't know why. Maybe the Wi-Fi is messed up. But before I go into the printed word book stuff there, let me pull that out here. Let me take that off the screen. How did you... When this new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air came out, were you offered to do the part or did they come consult with you? Did you have any creative input of how Hilary should be? Can you go there? That's the question he asked.
No, the answer is no to all of the above. No, I wasn't asked anything. No.
Now I'm mad.
No, this is a whole new, come on. This is not a comedy. This is a whole new revamped show. It's modern. it's not. They're not looking for me talking to them about anything. What would I say?
I'm still mad.
Oh,
That's just my
don't
own
be
opinion,
mad.
Karen. You can't tell me to be mad.
I mean,
Don't be mad.
I must say, when I watched it, I mean, I sat down and I watched it, and I'm like, okay, they remade it, and when I watched it, and the spin and the twist that they had on, I was like, oh, okay. But then and then it just made me, I sat and wondered, like, well, what do the original characters think? What do these people think about the spin that they put on it? I mean,
It was different. It was different.
it's a spin on
Real
it.
different. I was looking for some comedy, some light stuff. Even if it was serious, some stuff they were trying to,
Well, did you
But let me
see
just leave that alone.
the teaser that went viral that started all of it? Did you
No.
see
Did
that?
not.
Oh, I had seen that, so I already knew that it was dramatic. It was, that it
Oh,
was going to
okay.
be heavy and no comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of heavy. That Hilary didn't want to buy no hat for $500. That Hilary didn't. Now this the thing. This is the thing. The Hilary I love never gave Jazz no play. Now, so that part was a little extra. I was like, yo, why is they doing? I took it seriously. I almost thought I saw you, Hilary. I was like, Karyn. I'm like, no, that's fake. That's messed up. She would have never, my Hilary wouldn't have never gave Jazz. She would have threw him out.
I thought maybe it was just something, they was pulling from the back. I was like, oh, okay. But you know what? I mean, I love both of them, so hats off to them. Everybody
Hats off.
did their thing.
Hats off.
Everybody did their thing.
I'm hating. But anyway, the printed Karyn, I can hate. I mean,
hey, I didn't say anything.
Look, I know.
You know what? Now, I'm right now. I'm sitting here saying, I just wish your picture would pop right on in, because right now I just need to see it right now.
I'm smiling.
The printed word bookstore in Portsmouth, Virginia, asked this lady, or speaking on this. Can you read that for me? Because my glasses is not anywhere near.
It says, because as a indie bookstore, we get a lot of inquiries from those who want to start writing and would like to hear from other new authors. Okay.
So they pressing my cousin into a workshop. So let's pray over her coming out doing workshop, teaching master.
I would love to go to Virginia and do
classes.
that.
Master
Yeah.
classes.
I don't know. Just I'm saying master class. I could come and just have like a little hey, let's talk.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that on the back end. How about that?
Okay.
We would definitely talk about that. That is something really good to. I mean, because I feel like when someone of your caliber, when we've watched you, as young kids on TV, when we watch you, and when you're willing to come back and pour into others, it gives so much hope.
Yes.
It gives that it says that nothing is impossible, because we see you on TV. So it's just like me as a little kid, me sitting here talking to you today would have never thought that I would be able to have a conversation with you. But now to have a conversation with you and then to watch you on TV, it's just like, oh wow, I can do a little bit more than what I thought I could do, So to give someone else hope, and I believe that you coming and people seeing you and knowing what you have done and what you have offered does give a lot of people hope. So we're gonna visit.
Keep going.
I would love to be part of that.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can make that happen. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna make it happen. Because I dreamed of this. I knew one day that I would speak to cousin Hilary though.
Oh, you knew
but
that.
but when Karyn Parson came, I was like, yeah, okay. She was different, because remember, she was totally different. I'm like, yeah, I don't know this person.
Yes.
And I remember Karyn was telling us how this guy she met. Remember, Karyn, you was telling us how this guy, like, he really was thinking you were cousin Hilary. I forgot the story you was telling us. I got the recording, man. I'm gonna go.
Go back.
He was like, but you should have done this. And I'm like, yo, I'm Karyn Parson. I'm not cousin Hilary. They still didn't mind being the way you were.
Yeah.
I forgot the guy that was you were dating on the show. I forgot the guy.
Trevor.
I don't think you forgot. I
Clever.
think you just,
What's his
Trevor.
name?
I think you,
Trevor.
Trevor.
I think you just kicked him to the side.
Yeah. I forgot his name. I didn't like him. I didn't even see him. I never saw him. He was like the invisible boyfriend. You know, I was mad. I was like, yo, Will, don't let your cousin go. I was taking this really serious. I had it bad. That's why I am the #1 cheerleader. Fans. All right. So tell everybody that's listening, that's chiming in. I think Printed Word Bookstore got some other things. Is we will live. What? Go ahead. I can't read.
Love a workshop or have you read to our young reading scholars.
Oh,
okay, so the Printed Word Bookstore,
We'll set it
as
up.
you heard, we're gonna be working on something. So we'll let you know what is coming down the pike. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it.
And I'll see them Saturday as I'm hanging out with them with my crazy character, Super P. It's not crazy, but let me just tell you something. I'm plugging all day to my listeners. Super P, you know, I'm taking a bite out of bully crimes, Karyn, because let me tell you something. Over some years, Deborah and I, Lady D and I, got calls from parents where little 9-year-old Mackenzie Adams took her life because she was bullied because of race. 7 Bridges took his life because of medical condition. Yeah. Megan Grossman, she's from a suburban white area in New Jersey, took her life because they posted on TikTok a fight where bigger cheerleaders, because they was hating on her because she was just that good because of her gift. She took her life because of humiliation. Yeah. Because she was popular even as a freshman and they didn't like it. So I take bites out of bully crimes, and that's why I want to partner up with you with my nonprofit and Sweet Blackberry nonprofit. We're going to join forces. We're going to take the bite out of bully crimes. Can't wait till I get the clouds over California. Trust and believe. Yeah. If it got bully in it, it got me in it. And I'm going to ride this one, promote it as if I'm the outside salesperson. So Karyn,
thank you.
Tell everybody where they can find you. Give some websites out. I thought I'll have it up there going across, but people want to know how they can get your book. Talk to them. The stage is yours.
I'm on Instagram. You can find me. I got a little blue check next to my name, so you know it's me. You got Instagram. I'm terrible at remembering all that, like what my name is on things and underscores and all this stuff. Whatever.
I'll give it to him.
You know, on Twitter. You know, I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook.
Are you on Threads?
I'm not on Threads or anything. I'm not taking anything. I'm done.
You're done.
I am done. I'm cooked. I cannot take on. It's hard enough. I'm like, oh, I gotta go look. I haven't looked at Twitter in, how long. And I hate it. It's like you go. It's like you stick your. It's like you stick your face in a beehive. You open it, and all these people are like,
you gotta check on Twitter, Karyn. You gotta check.
I know, but I can't stand it. It's too much stuff. And then I go over to Facebook and I'm like, oh my God, I got all these messages and I'm behind. And they're like people that I really know on here. And so I feel bad. And, I'm like trying to keep up on Instagram because that's the newest one for me. And then I've been negligent on the other ones. And then, people are like, what's happened? Where have you been?
Wow.
Well, I'll do this. Listen, my cousin, sister, it's on IG, Instagram at Karyn, KarynParsons. Just put the @sign and you will find her because she spells her, mama spelled her name different, like Lady D spelling all her kids with JH. And, her mom's, Karyn White is a friend of mine as well. You and her, the only one spells the name like this. I think that's celebrity status. Karyn White and you.
That takes us off the Karyn list.
You can't. Oh, you know what? Perfect. I think your mama. I think she was ahead of her time. I think she knew that Karyn was not the right word to name it. Your mother knew that. That's what's going on. I think that's what happened. Well, we got a lot of people coming in, and I'm not going to put this up because we ran out of time saying hello. And what does she think about Coco Jones? She said she loves them, people. She never said anything wrong about. She said she loved her. Like they got a problem with, like Karyn do not have a problem with the cousin Hilary.
I do not have a problem at all. She is
not
lovely.
At all.
No,
she don't be like that. Get off my thing. I'm reading from people.
Oh yeah.
Whoever asked that dumb question, I'm not even saying their name. That was a dumb question. All right, Karyn, we love you. Again, go to her Facebook, go to her Instagram page, and you can click links. You will go right over to her website. Follow Sweet Blackberry. That's at SWT Blackberry. Okay, you know how to spell SWT Blackberry on Instagram. Follow that nonprofit. Sow into that nonprofit. She's doing amazing things with books of I call it unsung heroes of people of our past that you don't even know exist. There was a guy that got mailed himself to freedom. Hilary, I said Hilary, Jesus. Okay. Karyn, anything else you want to say? Anybody want to show some love?
No, this is a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm sorry about the camera, but it's good seeing both of your faces.
Not at all. Stick around for a little bit. We want to holler at you and get some information so we can start this workshop going. It's World Famous Swag in the Morning. I'm your brother, Prince Creed.
And I'm your girl, Lady D.
Until the next time when we give somebody else the stage, you be blessed. And we love you to life. And there's nothing you can do about it. But love me back. Yeah. I want to find you, Karyn, and with your picture, your video.